here just to kind of welcome people from around the world because you understand just how important it is what we're doing here and what's happening with Bitlocity and why it's so timely. I mean, as I keep talking to people, they are asking me to describe it. I think the word I keep coming up with time and time again is it's just timely. I mean, it's one of those things that is evolving at the exact time that it's really needed. And I think as we go through this, Mark, I think a lot of people are going to really see that and really start to understand it and understand why we have so much momentum right now, even in pre-launch. Why we're growing so quickly. Why there's over 56,000 people who have registered for this in just a couple of weeks, and why we believe that this is going to be the biggest conversation dominator that will happen in all of 2021. So, Mark, thank you so much for your leadership, man. Thank you for all the things that you're doing, both in front of and behind the scenes, and thank you for bringing your incredible track record of success to the table, because we definitely appreciate it. And we know that has a lot to do with the growth that we're having even so far. So listen, everyone, again, my name is Brian, and it's a privilege and a pleasure for me always to have the opportunity to speak about this incredible company, this concept, if you will, called Bitlocity. If you have a pen, you have a piece of paper, like Mark said, grab it, because I'm going to go through this as quickly as I can. I want to be respectful of your time always. I know a lot of you are, again, pulling away from family here for a moment to listen to this webinar. So I tend to say a lot and I tend to say it fast, but again, you can take as many notes as you can, and we've got a lot of videos out there in supporting everything I'm going to talk about here. And then you can get back with the person who invited you on, and they can get your questions answered for you at the conclusion, so you can make an informed business decision. I think that probably the best best place to start here, though, when really trying to explain the evolution of this company called Bitlocity, is to start by talking about this. By talking about the blockchain. And you're going to hear that. You're going to hear about that a lot, not just from us. You're going to hear about it a lot over and over and over again over the next several years, because this promises to change just about every single industry that you can think of. And in its simplest format, the blockchain is a decentralized distributed ledger that records the ownership and authenticity of a digital asset. Now, it's as secure, as transparent. Many people say that it's unhackable, which is why it's so big of a deal, and why so many people are really being attracted to it from a technology standpoint, and also from an industry standpoint of what it can do to really kind of metamorphosize our world and the way that transactions and record keeping and all these different things happen throughout the world. Now, most of you are maybe not familiar with the blockchain, but most people are familiar, at least from a surface level, about cryptocurrency. Everybody's heard about Bitcoin at the very least, and some of you have heard about some other cryptocurrencies. But a friend of mine actually gave me the perfect analogy. He said cryptocurrency is the blockchain technology what email is to the internet, where just about only about 59% of the people in the world right now still are on the internet. But of those people who are on the internet, the vast majority of those people, better than probably like 70 or 80%, they still just use the internet to check email and send emails. That's right. Despite the fact that it has, social media, and it has search engines, and it has this ability to connect people all across the world, a lot of people they're still completely unaware of just how powerful the internet is, and they're only using it to check emails. And if you look at this iceberg here, if we kind of consider this what's happening out there in the world right now, this right here, the tip of the iceberg, that's cryptocurrency. That's what everybody's all excited about, what they know about. And down here, it's blockchain. This big, massive structure. The vast majority of the iceberg is below the surface, lurking just below the surface, where most people are completely unaware that it's there, and are completely unaware of what's going to happen. And when we talk about massive, let's talk about how massive the blockchain really is. It is predicted and forecasted right now that over the next 10 years, blockchain technology will add $1.76 trillion to the global GDP. That's trillion with a T. So this whole massive wave of wealth is going to come through over the next 10 years around the world. It's going to travel around the entire world. It's going to create a vast amount of countless new millionaires and billionaires, in fact, but only people that are in the know. And unfortunately, just like every other massive wave of wealth that has kind of come before blockchain technology, most people are going to miss it because they simply won't know how to recognize it, and they simply won't know how to engage in it. And that's where, Bitlocity really was developed. Bitlocity was developed by a group of heart-centric entrepreneurs that were concerned that people would not be in a position to capitalize on this coming tsunami of wealth. So, you had some incredibly talented developers that got together. They then went out and sought out the very best field leadership team they could find to actually act as an advisory team to them. And they put together what I believe is the most amazing thing that I've ever seen in this space. And you'll be able to decide on that on your own here over the next several minutes. But Bitlocity, what it does is it kind of addresses this concern in two ways. One is it provides a world-class educational platform that will prepare the members of its community in such a way it's going to give them the knowledge they can recognize and understand the future of blockchain opportunities that are coming. And the second way is that it gives that community a premier peer-to-peer crowdfunding platform that's developed and been designed to provide them with the capital that they're going to need to engage in said opportunities. So you can recognize them, and then you've got the money to be able to engage in them, invest in them, and work with them so that ultimately you can actually really be able to capitalize off of what's coming. After all, we know that only with the right knowledge and the right level of personal capital will you ever truly be prepared to move at what we like to refer to as the speed of success. In the digital world, everything's starting to move faster and faster. It's not slowing down for you, and it won't slow down for you. And the people who want to be successful, they have to be able to think faster, engage faster, and therefore benefit faster. And the people who can do that are going to become successful, and the people who can't do that are going to be left behind. So we want to help you actually be able to really move at the speed of success. Now, again, the first half of that platform is the Bitlocity Academy. Online video training platform that has been designed to literally give you all the knowledge that you need to understand cryptocurrency and blockchain technology from soup to nuts. It starts off very basic, and then it starts to build upon itself as you start to go through the levels and the modules that we have prepared for you. So we're gonna answer basic what is blockchain. How is that tech going to change the world? What is cryptocurrency, and why is it here to stay? It's amazing. I know there might be a lot of cryptocurrency experts on the phone, but you'd be amazed how many people really can't give a real good definition for what cryptocurrency is and why it's not just a fad. Why does it keep growing and growing? Why does it keep becoming more and more popular? And why are all the big institutions now going out and buying up billions and billions of dollars of Bitcoin? What is crypto mining? Is there a play there? How can you benefit from it? What is crypto trading, et cetera? Again, this is going to continue to build. And I'll tell you, a lot of people have said, well, just, sum it up for me. What is Bitlocity? Well, a digital educational technology platform, with the stated mission to educate, enhance, and enrich our worldwide community about disruptive blockchain technology. Now, as I get to the second half of this and I really start talking about this peer-to-peer crowdfunding initiative, I want you to keep in mind that every Bitlocity package upgrade, you're going to receive a specific course to educate you on how to monetize the crypto and blockchain world. So as you move forward within our community, on top of not only gaining leverage within our crowdfunding platform, you're also going to gain leverage with more and more knowledge, more and more video training that you can actually absorb. That's going to better prepare you for what's coming. Now, the next question I always get from people is, why the fixation on Bitcoin? I mean, for even the people who know about crypto, they say, hey, there's all these different coins out there. Why not do it with something else, with Ethereum or with Tron or whatever? And, it's interesting to me because I really look at how this has all progressed, where we've actually gone from bartering to gold to metal coins to paper to credit, and now to crypto. And I think most people right now are still fixated on these two right here, right? You don't have enough paper currency, or you've gotten way too deep in debt with your credit currency. And most people haven't even passed into this new phase of digital cryptocurrency. It's just beyond them. They hear about it, but they don't understand it. But when they do, when they finally realize, just like, people aren't walking around with these ancient coins anymore as much as now they're dealing with paper. People don't walk around carrying gold bars in their pocket, right? The reality is, as they do, more and more people are going to shift and they're going to transfer into the crypto crypto world. As they do, though, as more and more people transfer in the crypto world and they want to accumulate cryptocurrency, the cryptocurrency becomes more and more valuable. And that's why Bitcoin is the granddaddy of them all, and Bitcoin is the one that has all of the buzz in the industry right now because it is the most stable and it is the one that most people are focusing on accumulating in high volumes right now, which is driving it through the roof. In fact, if 10 years ago, you had $500 and you were trying to decide, hey, I want to do something smart with my money. I don't just want to spend it. I want to see if I can, do something with my $500 that might actually cause it to increase in value. You would have had some choices. If you decided to put it on gold, that would have been a good choice, right? It would increase by about 30% here over the past 10 years. That's pretty good. Much more than if you had just kept your $500 in the bank. It would not be worth 30% more in 10 years. So that's a much better decision there. However, if you had said, hey, I know people are playing the stock market, so what if I put my $500 in the stock market? Well, based off the S&P 500 growth over the past 10 years, that would have been an even better decision in gold, because your $500 would now be worth about $1,850 today. But if you consider where cryptocurrency was 10 years ago, and you consider where Bitcoin was 10 years ago, you have to really start trying to do some really sophisticated math in your head. Because one Bitcoin back in 2010, I should say, was worth 0.003. So 3/10 of 1 penny, not even worth 1 penny. And it just grew and grew and grew. And at the beginning of December of 2020, which is when we actually first put started putting this webinar together, it was worth over $19,000 per coin. I say that now because I checked right before this webinar, and now one Bitcoin is over $27,000 per coin. So it's absolutely amazing the amount of growth that is happening right now with Bitcoin. So, but just at this $19,000 mark, if you had bought $500 worth of Bitcoin back in 2010 and just kept it until the beginning of 2020, the beginning of December 2020, it would have been worth over $3.1 billion. If you had kept it till today, it will be worth considerably more, as this price has increased by about $8,000 per coin just over the past couple of weeks. So again, we're talking about something that has tremendous value and an asset that is appreciated more than any other asset that I can think of, probably in the world, just in the last 10 years. Now, if you think that you've missed out on it because, wow, well, I wish I would have went back to 2010 and did it, think again. I mean, the people who are, who predicted that Bitcoin would hit $20,000 or more in December of 2020, those same exact people predict that not only will it hit $200,000 by December of 2021, but now they're thinking that that's conservative. They're thinking there's so many big institutions that are getting into Bitcoin now. They now believe that it could exceed $300,000 per coin by the end of 2021. And if you can think about that for a moment, remember, you don't have to buy a whole Bitcoin. You can buy fractions of it. You can just say, I want $500 worth of Bitcoin or $100 worth of Bitcoin. But if you think about something that's going to grow from where it is today and maybe grow by 12 times, 12, 13, 14, 15 times in 1 year, how much of that would you want, right? I mean, if it's going to go up 15 times its value, how much of that would you want to accumulate today so that when it went up by 15 times its value, right, you would be that much more prepared and successful. You also look at Bitcoin and you see it's going mainstream when people like PayPal and MasterCard and BMW and Etsy and KFC are all getting involved in Bitcoin. And then you notice the infrastructure that's being built, Bitcoin ATM machines popping up in cities and retail stores all around the world, airports all around the world, where you notice that the people with the most amount of money, the banking industry, they are investing hundreds of millions, if not billions of dollars into creating this infrastructure to support Bitcoin and other cryptocurrencies, because they realize it's not a fad. It's the people's currency and it's not going anywhere. And therefore, they want to be a part of it because they want to be on the Bitcoin accumulation mode as well. And if they're doing it, you might actually want to be doing it yourself. And that's where this peer-to-peer crowdfunding platform comes in. How can you accumulate massive amounts of Bitcoin in a compressed period of time? And that was really what we thought about when we were sitting down putting this together. And we said, listen, most people, when they try to do something like this, they'll try to hit on one of a few things. They'll try to either do something for the little guy, or they'll try to create maximum leverage for the masses. We can't do something for the little guy and the other people, so maybe we'll just do something for the masses, or we'll do something for big leaders. And if we get enough big leaders, that'll actually take care of. They'll bring in some masses. They'll bring in some little guys. They try to do one of these things very well. Most of them fail at even doing one of them, but they try to do one of those things very, very well. The other thing when people are working in this space is they decide that they want to actually go out and work with smart contracts. And you know, if you've been around the space, you may have heard of this before. If you don't understand it, I'll tell you that in a traditional contract, it's pretty simple. Two people from somewhere in the world come to an agreement, these two parties. They then actually put together a contract, but they then have to go to a third party, whether it be a bank or a real estate office or some type of attorney, who that third party is then going to be responsible for executing that contract for them. And herein is where a lot of things get hung up, trying to find the right expertise, trying to explain it, trying to deal with them, deal with their structure, their execution timeline, et cetera. Sometimes there's corruption, et cetera. So what people did with smart contracts is they figured out a way to literally hard code a contract onto the blockchain, where it had some simple rules. If this, then that, right? So if this happens, then that automatically happens. They eliminated the third party, so you don't have to worry about it. You don't have to worry about engaging with a third party or worrying about that. You just know if you do this, this automatically happens because it's hard coded into the blockchain. This smart contract, this set of rules that was going to be instantaneously in place and was going to be unchangeable, people have fallen in love with this concept. And we looked at our company, we said, listen, we want to build this peer-to-peer crowdfunding structure. And there are many of the things about smart contracts that we love. The fact that they're transparent, the fact that it's peer-to-peer. So you're not sending the crypto to us so we can hold it for you and then decide if we want to divvy it out, but it goes from wallet to wallet. That we thought that was cool. The fact that it's on the blockchain with all that security that it has there, and the fact that it's decentralized. So again, not having to do with banks or government agencies or anything else. It's a completely decentralized platform when you're dealing with smart contracts. But we also had to admit something to ourselves, that it's not all good, right? I mean, most of you are dealing with smart contracts. You know, there are some cons. You can have increased fees. Especially gas fees. Smart contracts were developed specifically for ERC tokens, and the Ethereum. The gas fees went up so high that it made it untenable to be able to utilize them. It wasn't developed for Bitcoin. And you know what? After what I just showed you about Bitcoin, the growth of Bitcoin, you should know right now that the number one thing you might want to be focused on is Bitcoin accumulation more than any other token or any other, cryptocurrency that's out there. And the other thing is that smart contracts are open source, which means that if you develop something that's working really, really well, your competitors can simply come and they can see all the coding for it, and they can knock you off almost instantaneously. So we didn't like that. We didn't like that, and we didn't like that. And we said, you know what? Does it make sense for us to do something with so many things we don't like, or does it make sense for us to do this? Do a smarter contract where you could take all the pros, leave all the cons on the table, and create something that's never been created before. This advanced proprietary tech that provides the peer-to-peer payouts, but it utilizes algorithms of a highly advanced crowdfunding of infrastructure. And that is what we put together here with Bitlocity. So I'm going to go through our compensation structure for you really quickly, and then we're going to wrap up. But before I do that, I just want to actually I want to take care of some legal stuff. I want to tell you that this presentation is for education purposes only. Okay. And I want you to understand that, we're not trying to give you the financial advice, and that's not my job here as a presenter, nor is it the job of the company. As an independent business member of Bitlocity, we're simply sharing our personal experience regarding a unique business opportunity. And I will tell you something that is critical that you understand, because I see, and I say this every webinar, but it's almost a warning to you guys out there for how people are representing the company. Bitlocity is not an investment platform, nor does it sell or market securities. So if you're going out there and telling people, hey, just invest, some money in Bitlocity and see how your ROI is, that is not what we are. That is not who we are. And you should not be telling people that. You're only going to get yourself in trouble. So please stop doing it. It's a platform designed to empower people in the crypto markets. Your success will depend on your skills, efforts, and other market factors. And all the examples that you see here are simply to educate you about the power of the Bitlocity comp plan and should not be interpreted as guarantees of earnings. So if you understand that, now you can actually move forward and you can start to understand what we're talking about here as we move forward. So first thing I want to share with you so you can start understanding this, we're going to build on these concepts, is that with Bitlocity, we've got these 14 different options of these packages that you can actually make contributions to get started with. And each one will actually give you a different rank in our company. So a $25 contribution will give you the bronze rank, a $50 contribution, the silver rank, and so on and so on. Now, you can actually buy in for as many of these packages as you want. So you can actually say, hey, I'm going to contribute 25, 50, and 75 and be gold. But you have to do them all in order. You can't skip over. Okay. And that's how that's going to work. The other thing is we also have a $25 yearly membership. And that's going to give you a lot of cool benefits. In fact, we're going to continue to add to the benefits here. Remember, we haven't even launched yet, but we've also put in one that's very cool. I think Mark talked about this already. A brand new Bitlocity mobile app, which is mobile marketing reinvented. It's included with your $25 membership, and you're going to receive the benefits from our complete marketing system with this free mobile app. So we're going to keep adding more and more benefits to that $25 that I think you're going to believe is really cool. Now, there's different pieces of our compensation plan, and I'm going to give them to you right now, and then I'm going to show you how it all works together to create the fastest Bitcoin accumulation model on the planet. With the knowledge that we're going to provide you from our educational platform, taken with the ability for you to develop huge amounts of capital through Bitcoin accumulation, you're going to be in perfect position to really take advantage of what's going to happen with that wave that we were talking about earlier that's going to happen as a result of blockchain technology. So the first thing I want to talk to you about is our Infinity line, which covers our $25 and $50 packages. And this is how it works. I'm going to show you the Infinity line for the $25 level, but again, it's for the $25 and $50 levels. It works exactly the same way. And the way that this works is when you actually get started with Bitlocity, you make your $25 contribution. That's going to actually just drop you into this one straight line, global infinity line, which is only based, I want to stress this again, it's only based off of the timestamp of when you actually made that $25 contribution. So it's not about who actually referred you. It's not about how many people you've personally recruited or refer. It's 100% simply based off of the timestamp of when you started. So if you actually dropped in a $25 contribution at 12:01 a.m. and 1/4 of a second, you would actually be dropped here. Somebody on the other side of the world dropped in at 12:01 a.m. and 1/2 of a second, they be dropped right behind you, and so on and so on and so on and so on. And you end up with this one straight line system that will be consistent of people from all over the world who you've never met before, may not speak the same languages, may never ever be in the same room with, doesn't matter. Now, once you're in this one global infinity line with all these other people dropping behind you, you're going to love the way that this works. Our algorithm actually looks at this and says, okay, you're going to actually receive the $25 contribution that's coming from two of the people behind you. So let's say it was these two, and that's $25 there and $25 there. Now, one of the $25 is going to go to your blockchain wallet. It's going to go to your blockchain wallet, your Bitcoin wallet, I should say, right away, which will make you whole. You had a $25 contribution to get into this line. You've now gotten back a $25 contribution, which actually makes you whole. You are now back to even for just getting started. Now, the other $25 contribution, what it does is simple. It buys you back into the back of the line, right? You can't just pop back into the line without another $25. So now you're able to come back into the line with that $25, which will then instantly, based off of our algorithm, be sent forward to someone else. But now you're back in line, and that's important. Is because now as other people are dropping in line or circling back around behind you, they're coming back in, you're getting a couple more contributions again, and you're able to go back to the back of the line again, and you can do this process over and over and over and over again, and you just keep getting these $25 contributions. Remember, it's the $25 line and the $50 line are going to work exactly the same. So one global straight line. Position is determined by timestamp only. Unlimited $25 and $50 payments coming to you, and no recruiting required to get paid in this global infinity line. I'll tell you, a good friend of mine said when he saw this, he said, you know what, this is important, Brian, because right now this would make the difference for a lot of people. Like this could be gas and groceries for a lot of people around the world right now who without those two things, they're done, right? So it's not about for everybody just being millionaires and billionaires, right? Sometimes it's just helping people survive, long enough. And if they can survive long enough, they can put themselves into a position to thrive, right? After we can get them past the survival. So we're going to help hopefully millions of people with this global straight line infinity line. Now, the next part is that super aggressive part, which is the dual-sided maximum leverage plan. And I love this. And I want you guys to focus here because there's two sides to this. There's the leverage builder Unilevel on your left, and there's the 1x3 speed matrix that's going to happen on your right. I'm going to go through each piece of it, and then we're going to show you how they work together. So a Unilevel, the leverage builder Unilevel, is simply you with all of your personal referrals frontline to you with no limitation. The thing I think you most need to understand about this, and I'm going to show you to you graphically, is all of the contributions that come in Unilevel, regardless of how large they are or what package level you're at, all of the contributions into the Unilevel are yours with this key exception. Your third and 10th referrals, okay? Your third and 10th referrals, their contributions will pass up to your sponsor, but that's okay. It's okay because it also means that all of the third and 10th referrals of all of your people that you've referred, their contributions in the Unilevel are going to pass up to you. So this is what it looks like. You've got you, and you start actually going out and you're referring people. You got a first, a second. Now that's that third, right? When we said the third passes up to your sponsor in terms of their contributions in the Unilevel, not the person, just the contributions. And then you keep going across, and when we get to the 10th, you've got another pass up. Now, what's awesome about this is, remember, you're keeping 100% of all of the other contributions that are coming here. But on top of that, remember, all of these referrals that you've actually referred, they're all going to ultimately end up with their own third and 10th referrals. And as they do, all of their Unilevel contributions are going to pass up to you. So you don't mind passing up on your third and your 10th, because for doing that, you're getting these pass ups from everyone's third and 10ths. And that becomes an incredible, incredible leverage system for you. Now, with the unique speed matrix, again, we're going to look at some of the rules here. It's slightly different. It's you with 3 frontline positions to you. The contributions that are coming into the first and second will instantly be paid to your Bitcoin wallet. But the third contribution will always go as a pass up to your sponsor, but it will cycle you. Okay, which means you get a whole brand new speed matrix at the same level. I'm going to show that to you here in a second. The most important thing about the speed matrix that I want you to understand is you can only receive contributions in the matrix from the levels that you have already purchased. I'm going to show you that here in a second. So all the pass ups from your personal referrals matrices will pass up to you as long as you have already purchased that matrix level. So let's take a look. So this is you. You've got that first spot, which is going to instantly be paid to your Bitcoin wallet. The second spot paid to your wallet instantly. And the third spot will go up to your sponsor and cycle you, and you'll get a whole new matrix, and you can do it over and over again. In fact, if you look at it this way, if you decided that, hey, I'm getting started right now in Bitlocity, and I want to come in at the amber level. So I'm going to come at the amber level, which means I'm going to go out and make enough contributions to get all 6 of these packages. So 25, 50, 75, 100, 200, and 500, plus my $25 membership, right? Then boom, what you're going to end up with is you will now be at the amber level. Now, what that's going to look like for you is this. First, remember that the first 2 levels, bronze and silver, 25 and 50, they're in the infinity line. So right at that point, you would now have spots in the global infinity line for $25 and in the global infinity line for $50 contributions. So you're just kind of cycling around through those, $25, $50 contributions coming into your Bitcoin wallet over and over and over again. But also, you're going to have a gold matrix, a platinum matrix, a pearl matrix, and an amber matrix. And that means if anyone on your team actually comes in at any of these levels, they're going to actually enter into your different matrices at the appropriate spot, and you're going to be able to earn more Bitcoin from those contributions into those matrices as well. But if someone gets ahead of you, if someone gets the ruby or sapphire, emerald or diamond, et cetera, before you actually go out and get that matrix, then you're going to miss out on that. And that's going to go up to the next person above you who is actually at those levels. So you want to stay ahead of your team as much as you can, because you don't want to miss out on the actual revenue that's actually being created through the contributions into the matrix levels. Now, the final piece of this is our leadership top recruiter pool. And again, keyword there is leadership. We wanted to make sure we were doing something that was going to be massively attractive to the very best leaders on the planet. So what we put together is that every single calendar month, the top 10 recruiters in Bitlocity, they're going to split a pool of Bitcoin funded by every upgrade worldwide of $75 or higher. Why $75? Because again, the $25 and $50 levels are just going to go into the infinity line, and we don't want to touch that. But everything after that, from $75 or higher, the gold level or higher, we're going to actually put that as part of this top recruiters pool. Here's what we're going to do. For each upgrade from 75 through all the way through 100,000, we're going to take a $10 profit and promotion fee, and we're going to deduct that. $5 of that is going to go to fund our research and development. So we can actually look at developing higher and higher educational platforms for you, as well as other products and services that would make sense within the blockchain sphere. Also support, which is very important. I know a lot of you have already worked with our support team. Infrastructure and future promotions. The other $5 will fund the leadership top recruiter pool. Now, here's the best part I want you to understand. Every single time that we pay out the pool, we set everybody's number back to 0 as far as the contest goes, which means every single month, everyone has an equal chance to be in the pool. Somebody goes out and they actually recruit 500 people in the month of January, as an example. In February, they can win the top recruiter for January, but on February, they're back to 0. So a brand new person getting started on February 1 and a person who recruited 500 people last month, they're both at 0. They both have the same exact chance to go out and be in a top recruiter pool again. So you can be in it over and over again if you're a superstar, but also every brand new person will also have the same opportunity as them. Now, the way the leadership pool is actually divvied up, 1 through 10, is it's not, we wanted to make sure that we even parsed it out here. So the number one person who recruits will get 20%, and then 2 through 3, 2 and 3 will get 15%, 4 through 6 will get 10%, and 7 through 10 will get 5% of the pool. So that again, even if you're in the top 10, you still have some incentive to go out and really push a little bit harder. So let's just imagine in 1 month, right, there were 10,000 upgrades in 1 month, which by the way is a pretty small number, especially when you consider we have over 56,000 people who are already pre-registered. You can imagine that 10,000 upgrades is a relatively small number. But even if it was that small number, 10,000 upgrades at $5 per upgrade, that's $50,000 of Bitcoin that's going to be in that top recruiter pool. And with this distribution, if you're number 10 through 7, then you're going to get $2,500 of Bitcoin as a bonus. Now, if you're 6 through 4, you'll get $5,000 as a bonus. If you're 2 or 3, you'll get $7,500. And if you're number 1, you're going to get a $10,000 Bitcoin bonus. Guys, consider this for a moment. You know, if you're really looking to bring the very top people to your company, think about the offer to them, right? No matter where they are, if they're these massive recruiters, they can earn, incredibly off of building their own teams. But if they come here to Bitlocity, they don't just get paid off of their own teams. They'll have the ability to get paid a piece of every single person's team in Bitlocity in the entire world. And that's what this bonus is all about. It's this massive incentive for the very top recruiters in the entire industry to come join. Why do you want that? Even if you're not a top recruiter, why should that be exciting to you? Well, guess what? If these people are going out and they're driving all of this new recruits into Bitlocity, well, look at what they're doing to our $25 and $50 infinity lines. Every single person they're driving in has to go through those lines, right? So they're keeping massive momentum happening in those $25 and $50 infinity lines. So even if you were a person that was only in the $25, $50 infinity line, you're rooting for these people because they're driving the amount of times you're cycling around, and getting these payments coming to you over and over and over again. These contributions. On top of that, as that happens and you get more and more contributions, now you have the capital to raise up to the the other levels, right? And guess what? As you're raising up to the other levels, your story becomes better. Now you have the story to go out and talk to other people about the power of Bitlocity, which who knows could actually mean that you could one day be a top recruiter and you could be getting these bonuses as well. So it all kind of works together to create it. So if you're looking at this, let's say that you decide you want to be at the emerald level, which is this $2,000 level. Think about how this all works together. That would mean that, well, if you're at emerald, you came through all these other levels, right? So that means you have an active $25 infinity line and $50 infinity line. You've got your own Unilevel that's going right now. And you've also at the emerald matrix level. I'm only showing the emerald matrix, but obviously you would have the emerald, the sapphire, the ruby, amber, pearl, platinum, and gold matrices because you've only come up to the emerald level. As to show you what that looks like in terms of your earning capability, this is how these two sides are going to work together. Okay, let's say you're at that emerald level and now your referrals, you've got these 10 referrals, right? And now they've all decided that they're going to start coming up to the emerald level as well. So they start making their $2,000 contributions one at a time. Just for the purpose of this example, I want to show you what that looks like for you. So you've got this first person, they put in a $2,000 contribution to come up to the emerald level. The company, again, we said we're going to take $10 profit and promotion fee. We already told you how that works. And the remaining $1,990 worth of Bitcoin instantly split 50-50, half to your Unilevel, half to your emerald level matrix, because we're dealing with emerald level contributions. Now, at that point, look at this. The first contribution, that 995 over here, that goes for the first person, that's 100% yours. Over here, it's in that first spot, also 100% yours. So you just actually accumulated $1,990 worth of Bitcoin. That's pretty impressive. Everybody's out trying to figure out how to buy $1,909 worth of Bitcoin. You were just able to accumulate it just by being in position without having to have $1,990 to go buy the Bitcoin, if you understand that. Now, the second person does it. You have that 995. That's all you here. That's also all you. So you just accumulate another $1,990 worth of Bitcoin. Third person. Now here's what's interesting. It's a pass up here, right? We already talked about pass ups are great because you get the pass ups from your people. And it's also a pass up here, but here, when it's the third position in the matrix, it cycles you and you actually get a brand new open matrix with 3 open spots. So when the fourth person actually puts in their $2,000 contribution, you can make $995 here and $995 here. You accumulate another $1,990 of Bitcoin. The fifth person, you accumulate another $1,990 worth of Bitcoin. And when the sixth person does it, you'll accumulate the whole $995 of Bitcoin here. But down here, again, it's that third spot in your matrix, which is going to cycle you, and you keep going over and over and over again. Now, remember, here's the best part. I'm showing you what's happening with one matrix level, right? But at the same exact time that this is going on, you've got other people down in the team who are maybe just coming up to the amber level or to the pearl level. So you've got all these different matrices working at the same exact time in coordination with your Unilevel at the same exact time, in coordination with your $25 infinity line and your $50 infinity line. You will have Bitcoin raining into your wallet from so many different directions that you will not be able to see where it's coming from. We're going to give you a complete record of it, but you won't be able to keep track, but you are going to love it. This is why people are getting so excited about Bitlocity. So I told you that most people try to do something, for one of these, or something for the little guy. Well, we got the $25 and $50 global infinity line. They try to do, maybe they'll try to do something maximum leverage for the masses. We've got that dual-sided maximum leverage plan, and something for the leaders. There's never been a better solution than our leadership top recruiter pool. We didn't just decide to do one of these things. We did all 3 of them, and we did them better than anyone else on the planet has ever tried to address this. That's why we call this the perfect compensation plan. So, Mark started off and he said, listen, we're going to be doing a training here soon about what you need to do, but let me just keep this real simple for you. Number one, if you like what you see here, get back to the person who invited you to take a look at this and ask them for their unique sign-up link. What we were able to do is we're in this temporary back office situation where we're allowing people to actually take a free position and pre-build their genealogy. They can start getting out there and getting their people into position right now and locking them in. So once somebody gives you your sign-up link, you're going to actually be able to just go through a basic sign-up process process. You'll get your own temporary back office along with your own sign up link, and you can start building a genealogy. The reason why I stress that word temporary is because remember, this is just our free sign up process. So people are looking in their back office saying, well, how come I don't see any place where it talks about my commissions? There are no commissions in a free sign up period, right? How come I don't see any place where I can actually connect my wallet? You don't need your wallet in a free sign up period. Believe me, I've already started to see the designs and everything, and they're being finished off right now for our permanent back office. It will be the most amazing thing you've ever seen, but this is just so you can start pre-building and you can start getting into the race like these other 56,000 people already have in just about 2 weeks. Also get connected to us on bitlocity.info with our corporate Telegram group. And then finally, guys, go get your wallet. If you don't already have a wallet that accepts Bitcoin, go do that. You know, a lot of our people that seem to work with us, they seem to like blockchain.com. I think because it's a really nice wallet for accepting Bitcoin, but they also know that they can take in as many large contributions as they want without worrying about their wallet getting frozen up by their particular exchange or anything. So again, find the wallets that you want. But blockchain.com is a great one if you don't already have one. I know a lot of people internationally, if blockchain.com doesn't work for them, they're actually talking about Coinami. And then fund your wallet with enough Bitcoin to cover your desired starting position, keeping in mind that there's a $25 membership fee as a membership as well. So if you decide, hey, I want to get started at the gold level, right? Well, that will be 25 plus 50 plus 75, right? For those three, plus the $25 membership fee. So just keep that in mind when you're actually putting enough Bitcoin in your wallet to actually cover your desired position. Because when we decide that we're ready to launch and we go, you want to have all that taken care of so you can move at the speed of success.